They will fear the wild.
Alright, what is up? What is going on, guys? D-Boy Chumbles, and I'm back, and Riot definitely wants me to be back making videos. And here's why. We have some Nidalee buffs, which are mainly going to be lane focused. Now, I personally do not think these buffs are that insane for making Nidalee in lane very good. There is some things that I wish they did that they didn't. But we'll go over what they did do. So the W Bushwhack mana cost is lowered by 10 per level, which some people are saying how crazy good that is. I mean, yeah, it's nice that the mana is a little lower, but you have to remember, like, you're never putting points into this ability until it's kind of too late. So it's not anything that crazy in my opinion. But we'll take it. It's one of those things where it's like, you're not going to complain about the buffs, but the one thing you have to remember is usually what the hell Riot does is when you buff a champion and then the champion becomes good and very playable, Riot then nerfs something that makes that champion good instead of just reverting what they did for changes. So, you know, you got to keep that in the back of your mind when looking at buffs and nerfs and all that kind of stuff, because Riot is stupid. So, yeah. Next is probably one of the best ones is the W Pounce Radius. This is amazing. I always felt like the W, the hitbox wasn't correct for the size. Like sometimes you'd jump and then you would land, but it wouldn't actually do damage, and you'd basically be like almost on top of them. So I think this small amount is actually going to be perfect to like where the actual radius of the champion lies now, which is great, and that's a very welcomed little change. I don't know if it's a buff per se. I mean, it is, but it's something that just probably should have been done. Like, yeah. I feel like hitbox stuff like with the models of the champion should just be correct. You know, like Scion Q, how it's not actually within the hitbox of what the Q displays. Like, that's just stupid. So little things like that, I think Riot should just be fixing. But I wouldn't really necessarily call it a buff per se. It's just how it should be. Now the E is actually very good. And also very scary. So this is one of the changes where I saw and I'm like, oh no, this is where the Nidalee nerfs are going to start coming in, and it's not going to be to the E. It's going to be to like her damage on Q or something stupid, or they're going to nerf her healing on the E and make the E very terrible in lane. So the cast radius went from 600 units to 900. I don't know how they thought of like just, you know, we're gonna add 300 units to this heal and that's good. Like, I feel like that's way too OP. And what scares me about this is people are gonna play her as a support, and you know, you can do whatever you want as a Nidalee top player, but again, at what cost? So if this ends up being too good, then I pray they just nerf the radius of this range down a little, and then that's it. Don't touch the actual healing component of the E. And probably the best buff out of all these that are like an actual buff is the E, because you're maxing E first in lane. So it goes from 90 mana to 70 mana before your lane phase is over, which is huge. And that is actually going to be the best buff in this little set here. So next patch is going to be pretty interesting. We also have stuff like Rengar here with a lot of changes, which is pretty cool. They're also nerfing all the healing, which is actually good, because that means Nidalee's going to have an easier time in lane, because a lot of these champions using heals makes it very hard to poke them down. And you have stupid champions like Tryndamere, who's getting nerfed, finally. only taken forever. Hecarim getting nerfed. And then Jax is getting buffed, which is absolutely brutal. I don't know how he's getting buffed. Darius, I don't mind too much. I think Darius needs some kind of buff just because he's pretty one-dimensional right now. And Azir is always in and out of buffs. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on these changes. And hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be a Nidalee video, maybe on the PvE. So thanks a lot and have a great day. Peace.
Hey, you let the talk, I don't talk, I get it. Yeah, you know I'm about it, if it kill me, I'ma let it. Run into the bag like I'm so athletic. I've been up since 6, making hits like tennis. I've been on fire, I just need my credit. Wanna go far, need to change my settings. Reaching for the stars so my feet touch heaven. Haven't had first, bitch, already want seconds. Wanna be on top, popping off like a fofo. Life been going fast, I've been trying not to go slow. I just hit the gas, now I'm faded, going slow-mo. You think you gon' pass, but you tripping, that's a no-go.